I want to film this area from a different angle. What I want to show you is the vegetation. I could call them wildflowers. I could call them piglets, call them weeds. But I want you to see how it changes as I go up this hill. None of this has been mowed in any way for, oh man, I want to say 40 years, 50 years. But I did turn the pigs in a year ago or so it's been, and I'm irrigating some of it. But now right here, it's bare because I've been feeding the pigs there, and in the spring it was all just nothing but mud. Well, they're coming back. And but here I started to throw corn out so that the pigs would graze this more intensely, because this is a mystery, this area. There were buildings here of some kind. But what I want to do now is just head kind of straight up the hill. You're going to see irrigated pig pasture, unirrigated pig pasture, and goat pasture, kind of up close. So, where to go through? Let's go through here. Now these are thorns that are left over. I did prune. I didn't mow, but I did prune. There's grass here. You know, I look at this sometimes to see, are my pigs hungry? Well, there's a real big difference of palatability. There's ragweed. They eat that with relish when it's small, but once it gets ripe, not so much so. But I think they will eat the seeds when off the tops when they're ripe. I can't name all of this stuff. New England aster or Canadian aster. Lots of grass. And there's a autumn olive. This is a willow that's volunteered. Those I prune. The bushes and trees, I prune them in the winter. There's boneset. I've falsely called this fleabane. It's nothing like fleabane except that it's tall and white, different. Anyway, very soon there's going to be a virtual invasion, I hope, of honeybees once that stuff gets ready. Grasses. This is just mostly grasses now. There's nutsedge. But look how thick it is. You can't really see the ground. And we're in a droughty time. I mean, it's been drought-like for all summer, really. Now this is nutsedge left over. At that point, I'm not sure if the pigs will eat it again. They eat it when it's first out. They probably will, because although this isn't mowed, come end of winter, it'll look bare if I keep allowing the pigs to go on here. So this is irrigated pig pasture that hasn't had irrigation for a month at least, and very little rain. But there's clay in this soil, and the clay remembers the water, sort of. But as I go up the hill, oh, and another thing to explain, this was all strip mined area. There's a cardinal flower clear up here. That's only here because of the irrigating water, I'm sure. But now you see it's thinning out some, but not all that much. And not all that much. And here is the principal irrigating canal. I call it the Eastern Canal. I'm just amazed at the amount of vegetation that is here. These are plants that would only grow if it were wet, but it will be wet again. All right, at this point we go on to unirrigated pig pasture that they rooted up this year for the first time. I gave them access this year for the first time. So it's been rooted up, and but it's coming back. I mean, it was bare, but it's coming back, and there's a particular kind of grass here. I want you to see it. It might be called red top. I could look it up. I will look it up. I've got a book on grasses. They're a little hard to tell apart. But you can see, although this was irrigated a very long time ago, it's not had water, except for the rain. It's not had water in these zonges for many years. And then as I cross this, see this grass? It's just not palatable, I think. That's why the pigs are leaving alone. And then that's goat pasture, unirrigated goat pasture. So looking down, right at my feet, unirrigated, newly rooted up pig pasture, irrigated pig pasture. And there you go. It's worth it to stop and watch just what do they eat. And they are working on that grass, the short stubby stuff. I'm not so sure if that's the same grass or not. See, yeah, they eat it. They eat it. I figured they would eat grass.